Tonight, racing is the Marcus Oldham College night. And we've got a couple of graduates who have gone on to great things. Henry Dwyer joins me and Ryan Arnell as well. Welcome to the coverage. I think I've met you a few times before. Henry, good to see you, mate.
You too, Richo. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, I haven't met Ryan before. So, Ryan, great to have you part of the coverage. You're now with Stonehouse Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, so Stonehouse is something that I came back to Australia after spending a stint over in the UK and built up myself. So it's been operating now for 18 months and going strong. We've had a couple of good breeding seasons, so
fantastic.
Away we go.
So what are you doing there? You got brood mares? You got stallions?
We're a bit of a mix. We don't have a stallion. I think I'll leave that for the big boys for a little while yet. But we're a 50-50 spelling breaking in operation and brood mares, yearling preparation, all the sales work and everything that goes along with that.
Fantastic. Tell us, Henry, about Marcus Oldham College.
Yeah, Richo. So Marcus Oldham, what Ryan and I both did down there, there's a 1 year advanced diploma in horse business management. So you go down there, you good social life. Not that's the main thing about it, but
for the college.
Certainly one aspect that is a good selling point for it.
Yeah.
But certainly aspects like your nutrition, your exercise science, that sort of stuff. You have a year down there learning about how it all works, and in my situation, it worked pretty well because I'd worked for a few of the bigger trainers before I went there, so you can sort of learn on the job, which you do with most things with horses, but then you just formalise it a bit by learning a few things about, oh yeah, I did that in the stables and that's how it works and why you do it and that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, it's a good experience, good for a year, and more so the people you meet along the way is pretty important. So meet guys like Ryan and guys I deal with on a day-to-day basis now have all gone through the course, and it just helps you meet those sort of guys, and going forward it's pretty beneficial.
So Ryan, was an obvious extension for you to go? Did you always love racing?
Yeah, well, I was just up there. We're having dinner up there in the room, and I just saw the Marcus Oldham slogan there, which reminded me of a few things. It's not a course, it's a career, and that's exactly what it's done for me. It basically got me out of. I had the experiences over here. What I needed was the connections, and I got the connections. I got the international connections, and it ended up with me in England for 4 years working for companies like Qatar Bloodstock. I've done 3.5 years with them and still look after their bloodstock over here now. So I've got Marcus Oldham to be fully responsible for those connections and getting me over there and getting me out into the industry.
Qatar Bloodstock are amazing. I mean, through the success of one horse here in Australia with the Dunedin, and suddenly now the extension of it, and through Robert Smurden, and we're seeing so many now, David Redford's and obviously Jeffrey Faber heavily involved. I mean, it's fantastic for Australian racing.
Oh, it's brilliant. Guys like Sheikh Fader, he's absolutely brilliant for the industry. He's a young guy, he's enthusiastic. He scares you with his knowledge of pedigrees and things in such a short amount of time too, so he keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. But he's bringing horses over here and supporting the industry at an international level is it's brilliant for everybody.
That's fantastic. Tell me, how did you fall in love with racing? Were you just like that typical Catholic boy at Xavier that everyone loves? All Catholics love to have a bet? Is that how you did?
I think it was more when I was at Melbourne Primary, as about a 7-year-old, Richard.
That might have been that.
Actually, we look at racing.com now and that sort of thing. I was sort of, when Channel 31 was broadcasting the trots on a Saturday night, I was all over it then. I had a phone account, or the old man's phone account anyway.
Of course it was.
I think I jagged a quaddie at the Moonee Valley Trots one night, and that probably sealed the
It's interesting though, but I think I was reading about you as well, Ryan. I think it's a similar scenario. A lot of young guys and girls fall in love with racing actually through the old punt, and then go into the industry.
Yeah, the romance, the theatre, that all helps. And then I loved every aspect of the punting and the racing side. I was going to the races, every Saturday for years, and then thought,
but then you've got to start dealing with a horse.
Well, that's it, and you sort of go, well, can't be that hard, can it?
Yeah.
And so you get to the age of 17 or 18 and have a crack at it, and well, they're big, scary animals, but once you get the hang of it, it's not rocket science. Us trainers aren't the smartest blokes getting around, and it can't be that hard, and it isn't. So
I'll take you up on that though, because it's interesting. I mean, you've had the tutelage of some great, Robert Smurden, you're obviously involved, and Team Williams, you're involved for a long time as well. The key ingredients, is it just to have them healthy and happy?
It's probably a balance between having them fit and healthy and happy. You can't have the fittest horse there because they'll go out with their head on the ground and not wanting to run, and you can't have them too above themselves because they're not fit enough. So it's just striking that balance, I suppose, and that's what we try and do. And you got to have them sound, happy, healthy, fit, and half the battle is probably getting the horse in the stables too. So
Well, that's the interesting point, isn't it? Because it's all right just dealing with the horse, and maybe through Marcus Oldham is actually learning to deal with people and actually the business of racing, and you're both coming from totally different angles.
Oh, there's 1,000 better trainers out there than me, but sort of being able to get those horses in the stable to train them and have success is the main aspect of it, I would have thought. And I've been lucky to have a bit of support from some really good owners and a bit of luck with a few decent horses along the way, so that's worked out okay for me. But there's a lot of blokes that just haven't had that luck and so can't sort of say they got to the heights they should have.
And Ryan, why the bloodstock aspect for you of the various aspects of racing? Why bloodstock?
I think previous to Marcus Oldham, I had, obviously my love of racing came in through my grandma on the punt again, and similar to H.
Granny gave me a
on,
banker kick.
Granny on the couch.
She gave me the TAV count at 12.
But my interest in the bloodstock side came from pedigrees and pedigree analysis with agriculture. I used to do a lot with cattle and sheep in that regard, so that sort of stemmed across, and I sort of put two and two together there, and the passion for the breeding game sort of kicked off from there.
And what about the alumni Qatar bloodstock centre for your horse? Do you like what I'm doing there?
I love it, Richard.
Yeah, do you want me to keep going with that?
With a bit more growth, we might see what happens down the line.
So
Diplomatic, oh, jeez.
that didn't sound too confident, did it? Not very positive at
Well, I know
all.
my breath, Richard.
When we've got trainers like Robert doing such a great job, it's hard to shy away from that for now, is there?
That's exactly
Can't
right.
be stealing them off your ex-boss.
No, that's exactly. Just on Qatar bloodstock, what's Arod doing now?
Yeah, so he didn't have the best of times over here. He's just on a break at the moment. Obviously, the original plan was to head over to Hong Kong and do his thing over there. That's out of the equation now, and no, he's just back now spelling, and we'll see what happens. But I'm sure you'll see him back in the UK in time.
Okay, Sontag, a little setback going into a couple of weeks ago. You changed your focus from a New Zealand Cup. Now runs in the Ballarat Cup.
Just really frustrating to get through a whole preparation of being targeted for one race specifically, which was the New Zealand Cup, and then the lead up to that was on Cup Day. And the day before Cup Day, we just, as we do routinely, trotted him up and had a feel of him, and he just wasn't coping with the workload. He had some muscle soreness, and we thought, well, if he doesn't run tomorrow, we can't go to New Zealand, so we had to pull the pin on both of them and just give him a week of freshening him up and working him off the pony, and couldn't do much with him at all. So the only suitable target after that was the Ballarat Cup, which falls tomorrow, and he's probably, if anything, benefited from the little freshen up. He's not a horse that cops a lot of work, and I'm pretty excited about him going tomorrow. I think he'll run really well. Yeah,
it's interesting. He's been a big market mover. I think the price they put up was wrong initially.
I think so. I think the ratings I sort of subscribed to had on his best form, which was in the Queensland Derby, was when he won in open company at Flemington over 2,800, and then ran second on the Ramsden behind La Amistad. That's good enough to be pretty competitive tomorrow, and I'm confident he's every bit ready to go. He's ready to run as well as he can, which is, if he runs up to those ratings, he'll be competitive tomorrow.
There was his last win, which ended up seeing an amazing dance twirl fist pump from one of his significant owners, Mr. Shane Leo Sayer Anderson, who just put on a magnificent show. Just going that, you were talking yourself down as a trainer, but you're a young trainer on the rise. Tell us, there'll be a lot of people wondering, you're targeting a particular race. Do you start at that race when you're doing your whole planning of a preparation? Do you start at that race and then work back, or do you start at the pick-off when you start and then try to work the program? Which way do you do it?
Absolutely. You gear everything towards your one target race, and that's why it's so frustrating when you sort of get there and just have a little setback behind. So with a horse like him, we identified New Zealand a long way out, and their spelling regime, and when they come into work on, he came by the Water Walker and a bit of pre-training up at the Rock Mount up at Euroa, and when the day specifically he comes back into training, by the stage I've had him a year and a half, you know exactly what he needs to get to his first up run, his second up run, his third up run, and each of his 4 lead up runs were sort of geared towards that one race, and that's just the shattering aspect of it. You have probably 6 months in the making and you can't get there, but there may be a consolation prize tomorrow, who knows? Yeah,
well, good luck there. I think Marcus Oldham have got a lot to be proud of you guys as some of the alumni. And due to public demand, Henry, we've been able to dig this. We've been able to dig Leo Sayer out. He'll be waiting at home. Have a look at the frown for starters. He's just starting to, right here, he's starting to believe. He thinks, hang on, I reckon I've got it. He's starting to believe.
Wow.
Hang on, look around. He said, hang on, the monitor must be wrong.
Have we got the bear hug afterwards?
And now he's starting to be. Now you watch there, the feet start to really get involved here.
Wow.
He's
And
shouting.
he had the blue suede shoes on
he's
the day
yelling.
too.
He's yelling, and then the explosion.
Yeah, he's
the
there.
up and down.
He's
Have a look
there.
at this.
The fist pump. Oh, wow.
Have a look, now the dance. That's him. That's what owning a horse is all
Extraordinary
about.
behaviour.
How do you deal with that sort of behaviour?
Oh, we love that sort of behaviour. I sort of...
There it is.
Oh, that's how I grew up. I owned my first horse when I was 18, or according to the records, it was when I was 18.
That's
but,
right.
I came into it through the thrill of owning horses and then thought, oh, I'll train them. But I got as much thrill out of winning anywhere. And the guys in Sontag, a lot of them were first-timers. Shane's obviously had plenty of horses, but probably the best horse he's had, and they're just a really good group, and they sort of knit well together and enjoy it as much as anyone.
I think it's worth noting that you specifically requested we show that vision. Otherwise, there's a chance he won't talk to me tomorrow. Ryan, thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you,
Great to meet you. Good luck with everything that you're doing. Always
Brilliant.
good to see you,
Absolutely,
Henry, as
Richo.
well.
Good on you. Cheers.
And Henry Dwyer Racing is sponsoring one of the races tonight as well. So fantastic to see two of the alumni from Marcus Oldham College. Let's get the market.